Hey, today I'm talking about the Night at the Museum trilogy. And the names of those three movies are Night at the Museum, Night at the Museum Battle of the Smithsonian, and Night at the Museum The Secret of the Tomb. First up is Night at the Museum. This is a 2006 film starring Ben Stiller. This is the only one I've seen before, and it's a cute, fun little movie. The basic premise, if you're unfamiliar, is that Ben Stiller is a down-on-his-luck divorcee dad, and he just needs a job. Thankfully, he finds one at this museum where maybe some magic happens at night, aka all of the exhibits come to life. It's definitely a cute, fun little movie. When Dick Van Dyke showed up, it definitely brought a lot of life and energy into the film. And going off of that, really all of the supporting cast is great. Like Ricky Gervais is a lot of fun. He's doing his classic "he can't quite finish a sentence" bit. Made me laugh every single time. Owen Wilson has a small role in this, pun intended, and he's just so delightful. I love him to bits. I felt like every single supporting cast member was full of life and energy, whereas Ben Stiller was just kind of whatever. He was my least favorite aspect of the film, even though he is the whole connective tissue of the entire thing. That being said though, I did like when he ran like Tom Cruise. That was really funny. Otherwise though, I really would have preferred someone else in the leading role. The movie's also very silly, and I get it, it's a kid's movie, but like man, the silliness was just a lot at times. And then like the third act is such a wild turn. I won't spoil what happens, but like man, I did not see that coming and almost felt like a bit of tonal whiplash. But like the third act was also really fun and kind of made up for sort of the boringness of the first 2/3 of the movie. So even though it's definitely strange, I enjoyed that. It didn't completely save the movie for me, but it definitely left me feeling good about having chosen to watch these movies. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was fine. Would I recommend it? Yeah, if you got nostalgia for it, sure, go for it. If you have young kids, yeah, sure, go for it. If you're just a regular adult, no children or anything, it's not a lot to chew on here. For in that instance, I'd kind of say it's an easily skippable one, but it's definitely not a bad experience by any means. So like for the most part, yeah, I would recommend it, but just, you know, feel yourself out. It's an alright little movie. Next up is Night at the Museum Battle of the Smithsonian. This is a 2009 film, and I like this one so much more than the first one. The basic premise is the museum's not doing so hot, so they're splitting up a bunch of the exhibits, which includes the magical artifact that brings everyone to life. That gets sent to the Smithsonian, so now Ben Stiller has to make his way there to retrieve it and bring it back home to his buddies. I love that they changed things up, that it doesn't just feel like he's a fish out of water again, dealing with all this craziness, though he is dealing with craziness. It's different conflicts he's coming across, different group dynamics he's dealing with, different bad guys in a sense. So I dug that. I like that they let Ben Stiller achieve his dreams, because he's like this inventor guy who's just always trying to come up with the next big thing. He's been a failure for like 20 years. It was so unexpected that like they didn't just keep him as the museum night guard this entire time between films. Like no, he's done a lot of other stuff, and I think that's neat that they chose that. And I like that the film's a rescue mission. That's neat. Not to talk about some specific cast members. The Jonah Hill cameo bit went on for way too long. Didn't care for that. It was fun, but like, no. Bill Hader is in this as Custard, and oh my god, was he perfect. I would watch an entire film with Bill Hader as Custard. That was incredible. That was so wonderful. I could not get enough of that. Oh my god. The real standout for me though is definitely Amy Adams. Like, she's always very attractive, but like, oh my god, her with short curly red hair, I fell so hard in love with her. Oh my god. I wish she did short hair more often, especially curly like this. Like that's just how? Whew, getting flustered just thinking about it. So yes. But then speaking of the ensemble cast, I feel like they understood the weaknesses of the first one and worked around that. That like Ben Stiller's just kind of the point of view character. The movie's really about letting the ensemble just just do its fun stuff. And that's where this film really truly shined. It was truly an ensemble piece and everyone had a fun little bit to do, and it was just so delightful and charming, and yeah, no, it worked so much better. So yeah, I had a good fun time with this movie. It really brought the franchise around for me, and yeah, no, I would totally recommend this one. I think you can go into it blind without having seen the first one. It's a really fun, delightful experience. Yeah, no, good film, would recommend. And lastly is Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. The basic premise of this is that something's going wrong with the tablet, so they have to travel to England to talk to Ben Kingsley to figure out why everything's happening. So they're going to the British Museum for more fun shenanigans. And this one's fine. It feels really on par with the first one. Let me start with some positive stuff. I like how it lived in the universe feels. Like the little miniature people have discovered YouTube, they love YouTube, and when they're writing comments on YouTube, they have this like really convoluted contraption to do it, and that just feels fun and neat. Skylar is in this as the son. I love Skylar in general. He's just a very delightful, fun, charming actor, and here is no exception. I do feel like they kind of underutilized him, but like, great to see him. He was a delight. And then like when they went to England, I'm glad they brought a lot of the cast with, though it was weird. A lot of times they were just kind of standing around the background, not really doing anything. But to continue with some positive stuff, I like Dan Stevens in this. He was fun. I love the Pompeii bit. That was a lot of fun. Didn't like the ending of it, but I think in general it was still a good solid bit. One of my favorite scenes was there's a bit where Ben Stiller is locked in this room and he just starts thinking out loud about the conflict with his son. And honestly, it was just a very beautiful moment of just like self-realization. I like that the movie took time to fully address that storyline, because it almost felt like they kind of forgot about it, but like that scene showed that like, no, he's actually been thinking about this entire time. And just like the thoughts he had with it too were just like beautiful emotions. So yeah, I like that a lot. Also, Alice Eve has a small cameo in this, and whew, she's pretty. And yeah, I like the heart of it about fathers and sons and that whole relationship. I think that worked really well. The story itself was pretty boilerplate, especially the third act. I didn't like the character of Law, which is Ben Stiller's second character in the film. I get the joke. I don't find it that funny. There's a lot of product placement in this film too, which I know it happens in all sorts of movies, but it was a bit distracting, especially in the beginning. Ben Stiller's got a weird fake tan. That was my last note. So yeah, no, it was all right. It was fine. If you really like the first one, yeah, it's still worth a watch. But if you weren't that into the first one, I don't think you really need to watch this one. You can to finish off the trilogy because it is a nice little end cap, but like, it's not gonna blow you away by any means. I do think it is a step up from the original, but it doesn't quite reach the heights of the second one. So yeah, no, if you're already invested into the series, yeah, sure, you can finish it. But if you're not, it's an okay one to miss. So yeah, it's all right. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Night at the Museum sitting at number 68 in the liked category. And then after that is Night at the Museum Battle of Smithsonian sitting at number 50 in the quite like section. And then lastly is Night at the Museum Secret of the Tomb sitting at number 59, also in the quite like section. And this is out of a total of 96 old movies so far this year.